Hey there. Today the moon continues in Libra, and today's topic is 3 ways to not be a doormat in your relationships. I thought this was kind of a fun topic and very appropriate to talk about with the moon in Libra, especially during a Virgo moon cycle where we have a little bit of that self-criticism. And so looking today at real balance. And Libra is about balance. So when we think about real balance, it means not being a doormat for someone else, right? Because Libra wants peace. Libra wants things to be even and nice and pleasant and not to make waves. And so that Libra energy can have a tendency to say, I'll just compromise. I'll let go of my need to have my own voice in order to prevent things from getting rocky or bumpy in any way. So we'll look at that today. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Thursday, September 5th. And so whether you have a tendency or not to have that doormat syndrome a little bit in your relationships and let someone walk all over you, or, I'm making a little bit of a joke out of this, but a lot of us can have that way of experiencing relationships, or at least it shows up in some aspect of our relationships. And what it's about is it's about, again, wanting to being a people pleaser, right? Wanting other people to be happy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Happiness is great. But we sacrifice real balance when we hold back our own truth, our own voice, our own need to speak up when it's uncomfortable, or it makes waves, or it doesn't please someone else, right? Maybe they don't like it, maybe they don't want to hear it, and we can sometimes be compromising real balance for the sake of a balance that is less stable, but maybe easier, right? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so, and I want you to think about this. So even if this is not your pattern, if you're not the type of person who tends to have this experience of sometimes wanting to be a people pleaser at the expense of maybe some deeper healing, some deeper truths, some more real and honest and authentic communication. If you're not the type of person who tends to silence yourself in order to please someone else, it's still really good to be aware of these patterns, because it's helpful for you to be aware of how other people might experience the need to make you happy, right? If maybe you're the one who someone is trying to please, this is a good thing to think about as well. So here are my tips for today. 3 ways to not be a doormat in relationships. And again, these are just reminders to help with your awareness, help you think about the process, and hopefully come up with your own creative solutions for how to shift these patterns into more healthy ones, right? That's what we're doing with this Virgo moon cycle. We're doing improvement. We're learning, we're growing, we're being humble to the greater process of what we have to learn. And so, number one way of the 3 ways, 3 steps, maybe they're kind of in order, to not be a doormat in relationships is to notice. And this is often my first step of anything, right? So notice if you find yourself holding back, if you find yourself shrinking or feeling small or wanting to not take up space The first step is to notice. Notice you are doing that. Notice you have a tendency to not speak up or to want to hide or feel small, right? Or kind of shrink your energy. So that's number one, is notice. And then number two is to practice. Practice ways of taking up space. And you can do this not with the person who is most intimidating in your world. Do it with the people you feel safe with, maybe with a friend, maybe by yourself, thinking it through or journaling it out. Practice ways of taking up space. What is it you want to say? That would be a great journal prompt. What is it you would say if you were taking up space? I love that. So practice ways of taking up space. Think through what it would look like if you were to take up space. Just give yourself in a safe place, right? A safe space for you. Give yourself time to think through what it would look like or feel like to take up a little bit more space. Maybe ask yourself what you're afraid of, right? You can do a little bit of deeper diving into some of your emotional patterns. So that's number two, is to practice ways of taking up space, and practice when you're not on the spot. And that will help you sort of bolster your own ability to do that when it matters. And this is a process, right? You're not going to do it overnight. It's about looking at the deeper patterns and beginning to make choices that help you shift those patterns in the long run. Okay, so number one is notice when you want to tend to shrink or be small or silence yourself. Number two is practice ways of taking up space, or ask yourself, what would it look like? What would I do if I were taking up more space? And then number three is to be your own champion. And so this is where you want to think about how you would talk to somebody that you thought should speak up more, right? Somebody you thought had good ideas or an important perspective that you might say, yeah, go say that thing, do that thing, step in there, take up some space. Be that for yourself. And so when you notice what you appreciate or value about what you have to offer, you can remind yourself, hey, that's actually, because it is, an important piece to bring to the table. It's an important piece to share, to bring, to not hide from or shrink from. It needs to be heard. It needs to be said. Even if nobody's going to listen, there's still that process of starting that baby step to say, hey, what about this? We haven't thought about it this way. How could we do that? How could we make some progress in this direction? And so this might be in your primary relationship or a romantic relationship. It could be with a coworker. It could be with a friend, right? We have relationship issues with all kinds of different relationships. And so this is the perfect way to think about how to maybe shift some patterns so you're not being a doormat in those relationships, showing up to really speak your truth, speak your mind, and share your perspective, which is a valuable one. Okay, so the three steps, just to recap, are number one, notice. Notice when you have a tendency to shrink or be small or not speak up. Number two, practice ways of taking up space and explore that. Think about it for yourself. And number three, be your own champion. Encourage yourself, support yourself, reward yourself when you do something hard or courageous. You can be that champion for yourself, and that is a way of stepping into this courageous energy of taking action, taking up space, being who you are and who you are here to be, which is very much needed, even if it doesn't feel like it at all times. So it's about practicing and cultivating that. So noticing, like I was talking about yesterday, noticing where you have any criticism or judgment also, and um, working to be a little bit more neutral as you think about what is wrong, and that it's not that you are wrong or that you are unworthy. It's that there's something here you can work on or learn, or a way that you can grow. That's what I've got for you today with this Libra moon as we move into the waxing crescent Libra moon energy for this Virgo moon cycle. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. Thank you for subscribing, and I will see you next time. I'm here every day with astrology for unshakable self-care. Bye for now.